folks, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. So I got a request to do this video a while back when I posted a couple of Rush videos, impressions of their new tour with their new drummer and so on. So somebody requested, hey, can you do a video and just tell us what your favorite tracks are off of each of the Rush albums? So I did that, and I'm telling you, I went back and I listened to some of these records I haven't listened to in a long time, and if nothing else, they reminded me or brought me a renewed appreciation for Rush, and their amazing musicianship and playing and arrangements and melody, and my God, like just a phenomenal band. And after going through these records, I mean, Rush, I mean, they were in my top three, but they may, after going back and revisiting, they may be my favorite band now. But, you know, moving from top three to number one. So, but yeah, so for this video, I just went through the first 10 records. And for me, that's kind of the golden period, up to Grace Under Pressure. And then there's some more difficult to listen to records, though I'm not a big fan of the records after that. So, if this video is popular and a lot of people dig it, then I will definitely do the rest of their catalog from Grace Under Pressure, starting from that point onwards, or from that point onwards, I should say, and I'll do that. But for now, we're just gonna focus on the first 10 Rush records. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, please hit that like, and without further ado, let's go. All right, and from their debut, Rush, 1974, the first record, the only record their first record, and the only record that John Rutsey played on. But this is a pretty straight up, as most of you know, straight up hard rock record. But there is some tinges of upcoming prog ingredients in some of the songs, and the song that I picked off of this was the opening track, "Finding My Way." It does start off with a kind of proggy intro, and then it goes into a straight up rock tune. But What You're Doing is another great track on this, of course, Working Man. But listening to that whole record, I gotta go with Finding My Way as my favorite track off of this record. All right, off of Fly By Night, 1975, first record with Neil Peart, and what a difference, man. Now there's like a drum fill, every square inch of music is filled with a drum and a bass, and it's just Rush in their glory, going forward. And this is a song that doesn't really get a lot of attention. It's kind of a deep cut, I guess, for this record, but I got to go with Beneath, Between, and Behind. Love the riff, love the crash. There's a part where it goes into halftime that's just really, really cool. Bytor is on this, which is also very cool. There's a lot of really cool tracks on this, but I would say of all of them, I got to go with Beneath, Between, and Behind is my favorite track off of Fly By Night. And then we come to Caress of Steel, with the epic Necromancer and the Fountain of Lamneth. Um, can't say I'm the biggest fan of either of those. They have moments in them that are cool, but as a whole, but the songs before it are pretty cool. Of those, I gotta go with Lakeside Park. It's I don't know, it's kind of got a sentimentality to it that I kind of dig. It's just a really it's just a good it's a good track. It's a good standalone track. Um, but yeah, I gotta say that I'll talk more about 2112 next. But this was their first, dipping their toe into the idea of the big epic tracks, with the Necromancer and the Fountain of Lamneth. But man, what a step up to 2112. But we'll get to that one next. And then we come to 2112, the album that broke them. Whole first side, 2112. Got all those different sections, all those different parts, but man, they are so good. They are so cool. Amazing riffs, great guitar soloing from Alex. I love Alex's playing, his early playing. Man, he's such a scrappy guitar player. It's the best way to describe him. He just attacks the guitar and all his solos. And there's a lot of solo playing in this, in the body of 2112. Just phenomenal. So yeah, for me, off of 2112, it's got to be 2112. That whole first side as a whole is, for me, my favorite song, if you want to call that mass song. I guess it is. that's my favorite song on the record. I mean, Passage to Bangkok is cool. I really like Lessons on the second side, the single songs, but as a whole, 2112, I got to go with 2112 as my favorite. Absolutely killer track. A Farewell to Kings, the follow up. Great freaking record. This could be probably top 3 Rush for me. But how can you deny Xanadu? Xanadu is just an absolute masterpiece. I remember when they played it on the last tour here. When I saw Alex and Getty come out with the double necks, I mean, it was a grown man crying. I'm not going to say who it was. But I don't know what the hell Honeydew is, but I'd like to have some right about now. What a fantastic freaking song. All the parts, everything just flows beautifully. It's a goddamn masterpiece. Xanadu is like Rush, top tier Rush. I mean, Closer to the Heart is cool. Cinderella Man is cool, but Xanadu is just absolute top tier. Absolutely love Xanadu. So that's my favorite track off of Farewell to Kings. Hemispheres. I it was, I don't know if it still is, but it was my favorite Rush record for the longest time. It was the first Rush record that I bought, right? Um, if it's not in my still my favorite, it's probably top 3. But you got the whole first side, which is Cygnus X1 Book 2 Hemispheres. Um, that's really really cool. That whole first side is really really cool. It's not, for me, it's not quite on par with 2112, but it's pretty close. But what really makes this record for me is side 2. And specifically my favorite track off of this, I'm going to go with Circumstances. The Trees was pretty close. I mean, La Villa Strangiato, even though it's an instrumental, I mean, it's an amazing instrumental. Alex is playing on it is phenomenal. But if I got to pick one, I got to pick Circumstances. It's just a really nice, tight song, nice, tight statement. And yeah, I got to go with Circumstances. This one was really tough. It was Circumstances and The Trees are kind of neck and neck, but I got to give the edge to Circumstances. So that's my favorite track off of Hemispheres. All right, now we're getting into 80s Rush with Permanent Waves. Now there's still some flavoring of the 70s Rush because there's a couple of epics on this, Jacob's Ladder, Natural Science. But for me, my favorite track on this is Free Will. Always loved Free Will. Love that verse riff that Alex does. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Like, it's just so catchy. It's so cool. Um, Melodies are great. Great playing. I mean, it's Rush. Always great playing. But yeah, I gotta go with and Spirit of Radio, of course, was the big song off of this. But give me Free Will, man. It's my favorite track off of this one. All right, this was their next big record, right? Moving Pictures, the album that most non-Rush fans know Rush for. Tom Sawyer, the big hit, Red Barchetta, Limelight, another big song off of this record. But for me, funny enough, I like the epic track on this, which is The Camera Eye, which goes at 11 minutes. I just really like the different parts of that, the flow of that song, the build. It's got a lot of dynamics to it. I don't know. I just love the sentiment of it. It's a great Neil lyric on that. Observations of different places and how people live in different places and so on through the camera eye, so to speak. Yeah. Yeah. It's I guess a deep track on this, the camera eye, but it's my favorite track. It always has been from the start. I've always loved Camera Eye off of Moving Pictures. Then we come to Signals. This was my first Rush tour that I saw, Maple Leaf Gardens. And back then they had the very now antiquated video screen. It looked like a bad video game for Red Barchetta with a car racing down a track when they played that song on that tour. But for me, my favorite song on this always has been Digital Man. For whatever reason, it's just, I know, it's a little bit, it's got like an off kilter kind of feel to it, you know, and it's just, I don't know, it just got a weird kind of groove to it that I always dug. It's different, and yeah, Digital Man is my favorite track off of this. Yeah, I could have picked shit, Subdivisions, Analog Kid, but yeah, for me it's Digital Man. That's my favorite track off of Signals. And finally, Grace Under Pressure, number 10 of the first 10 records. So my favorite track off of this. So this one was tough because I like Distant Early Warning a lot. I like After Image a lot, but I got to go with Red Sector A. Just a little, just edges those out just a little bit. Yeah, just a really, really cool song. Again, the dynamics of it, the build of it, the tension. Yeah, just a really, really cool track. So those are my favorite tracks off the first 10 Rush records. Let me know what your favorite tracks are in the comments. Also in the comments, let me know if you'd like me to do a part 2, which would be the rest of their catalog. So let me know if you'd like to see that. I will make that video. Thanks for, I don't recall who requested this, but thanks so much for the idea. But yes, these are my favorite Rush tracks off their first 10 records. So if you're new to the channel, again, please hit the subscribe, please hit the like, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.